All right, we're live.
We did it.
Yay.
Cool.
How's it going,
Happy
guys?
TwitchCon 2019, everybody.
Happy TwitchCon.
Yeah.
Is that today?
Technically it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
People were picking up their passes today.
Oh, okay. John, you're not going?
Nope. Because my wedding anniversary is in 2 days, and I would rather spend it with my wife than at TwitchCon.
That's fair.
Well, I would have assumed she would have gone too.
Nah. She doesn't want to go.
That's not in the Bay Area anymore, right?
It's in San Diego this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that where it's been the last few years?
It moves between San Diego, San Jose, and somewhere else.
Okay.
I thought it was
at
at Long Beach.
There we go. That's the place.
Yeah.
That's in between San Jose and San Diego, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, this year it's in San Diego Convention Center. Yeah.
Right on. So what's new with you guys? What's been happening over the last week?
Yeah.
Life.
Yep.
Like I said, wedding
Mhm.
anniversary's coming up this weekend, so we're planning that out. And
Are you doing something
relaxing
special?
otherwise. We're gonna do. We couldn't decide on what we wanted to do, so we just ended up. We're gonna do 2 dinners, one for my preference and one for her preference, and then we'll just kind of have a chill weekend.
Okay. What's your preference?
We're gonna go to Brazilian barbecue.
Ooh.
Right on.
Nice.
Cool. Well, that's cool. Paul, what's going on with you, man?
I had to format my computer, and by had to, I mean chose to, because it was starting to run a little slower than it should. So we're back up to speed now, and I'm just kind of slowly discovering the things that I'm missing still, like everything to do with this podcast, for instance, because it happens once a week, so I got everything put together today. And yeah, I'm just taking it as it goes, I guess.
Right on. Right on. Yeah, I got to upgrade my computer soon. I was talking to you about that. Power supply issues.
Mm-hmm.
Got to figure that out.
Yep. At least that's an easy fix. And somewhat cheap, depending on what you
I was
go
seeing like, $40-50 for a power
Yeah.
supply. I just needed to fit in my box because I don't have a gaming PC tower. I just have a
Right.
regular PC tower.
Mhm.
So theoretically, could you just, as long as all the cables plugged in,
Mhm.
does it need to like actually fit into something?
No.
Like be sitting, can I just have it hanging?
You could literally have
Just build a shelf?
You could literally have a computer with all the parts just like hanging from the ceiling from wires if you wanted to, as long as
Okay.
they weren't like metal wires to like ground electricity.
Okay. Right. Okay. So I just need to make sure that those cables can reach the places they need to get put into.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully it goes well. We'll see.
Yeah, it'll be
See
fun.
in a week or so.
Yeah.
Quick movie that I saw.
Mhm.
I want to mention. I saw Ad Astra. The new
Okay. Yeah.
space movie with Brad Pitt.
Yeah. How is it?
It was okay. I
Yeah.
wasn't like super invested in kind of the story and stuff, but I did just kind of like the world they set up. It takes place in like I think they say like near future, but it's in a future where like space travel is commercial now. You can just take a commercial rocket to the moon if you
Sure.
want.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
And you know, that shows like the moon base and there's like Applebee's on it and stuff. So that was just kind of cool to just kind of be in that world. He asks for a towel or a blanket while he's on the rocket, and it costs $125.
Oh my god.
Which I mean that makes sense. That's probably what things are going to be like.
Yeah.
When commercial flight is real, or space flight is real. Brad Pitt does a good job. I'll say that. I think it was a bit long and it's a bit slow, especially since I wasn't super invested in the story. But the world was cool. I'll say that.
Okay.
Tommy
That's
Lee
pretty
Jones.
much what I expect you to say,
Yep.
honestly.
Right on. Okay, well, let's do the show because we got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
This is the Top Down Perspective for September 26th. I'm Sean Booker.
I am Paul Fleck.
I'm John Wheeler.
Sean, what have you been playing this week?
Whoa, I'm not even ready for the marker. Okay,
demanding.
what have I been playing? I've been playing a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, that's
Lots and
why
lots.
we should get through you.
Okay. I talked about this a bit last week. Sayonara Wild Hearts. I finished it.
Okay.
That game is tremendous. Like, wow, I cannot recommend it enough. If you have no way of playing it, I would like watch an entire like let's play of it without someone talking. You don't need someone just yelling at you when they're doing a let's play. Just
Yelling at you.
find a silent let's play where it's just the game audio.
Uh-huh.
As someone whose job that is, it feels a little weird to hear that statement, but okay.
Well, I'm just like, because this one's all about music and audio.
Oh,
And,
yeah. Okay.
and so that's what I'm saying is you want to just experience the game, and without a wacky personality in the corner,
Wacky.
or I don't know. It's good when you beat it, you unlock a like a continuous mode where it'll go through like the whole game in one go,
Okay.
which is also quite cool. You can play the game. I don't know if I mentioned this last time with a Bluetooth controller, so a PlayStation controller or touchscreen.
Yeah.
They both work totally fine. I actually preferred the controller method because it was just a little tighter. Because some of those turns can be pretty tight and specific that they want you to do. But yeah,
Sure.
Sayonara Wild Hearts is extremely cool, and that soundtrack is awesome.
Cool.
Speaking of Apple Arcade games, I played basically through Mini Motorway as through as you could with one of those games. This is the follow-up to Mini Metro. And just like the approaching this game, almost there was an intimidation factor to it because I like Mini Metro so much. That is one of my all-time favorite mobile games. Like I will never delete that off my phone. It is so good. So like a follow-up that's trying to do a very similar thing. Like there's a lot there that I personally am gonna like need from it, so that it's not just a total letdown. And I'm happy to say it's what you want. It delivers. So if you're a Mini Metro fan, you will like Mini Motorways. It's very good. It is missing a few features that Mini Metro had that I would have to just assume will be coming in an update because they're so basic and obvious. For example, like a fast forward button. The first few days can be pretty slow while you wait for things to start getting hectic. So I'm surprised some of the stuff that's in Metro didn't find its way over here, but I'd have to assume it's coming at some point. But they updated Metro for quite a while after the fact with new cities and stuff, so I would expect more stuff coming from Mini Motorways. In this one, you're setting up roads, but connecting houses to buildings. So what'll happen is you'll get like a specific colored building, like let's say a red building, and there'll be a little like a pin will come up on it, saying that there's someone at the building that needs to go home. You need to make sure you connect a red house to the red building so that a car will leave the red house, go to the building, pick up the passenger, drive back home. And you start getting more and more buildings of different colors. Obviously, there's water, so you need to get bridges. You get motorways, which are basically highways that you can kind of put over top of the whole city, and those will go a lot faster. So that's good to connect like far away parts together and stuff like that. If you, like I said, if you like Mini Metro, you will like Mini Motorways. I think I like Mini Metro more. Just building the layout was easier. This one you have to kind of like tap into an editing mode, and you can't like pinch to zoom as much. I don't know. It's weird. Mini Motorways does have a way to go before it gets to where Mini Metro was, but I can at least say the groundwork is there that it will be the follow-up you're looking for. So
Okay, cool.
I was very pleased with that.
Cool.
I'll just wrap up the Apple Arcade segment. I'm playing What the Golf.
Okay. Yep.
Another just fantastic game. This is an extremely good.
I love that. Yeah, I played it at PAX last year. It was great.
It's very good. For those who don't know, What the Golf is a golf game. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. Unlike no other, because for the most part, you're not shooting a ball. But sometimes you are. But sometimes the ball can like swing from ledges and stuff. It's it's like it's technically a golf game, but it's also whatever game it wants to be at the same time. So I'll try and give you an example. The first level where things go weird, the way you move your thing, you're always trying to get to the pole, right? Wherever the hole is, you're always trying to
Sure.
get to the pole and touching that with whatever you're controlling.
Mm-hmm.
The way you do the thing you're controlling, you kind of pull back on the screen and you're like flinging it forward, basically similar to like desert golf. If you
Okay.
played that. So the first one that goes weird is you have your guy sitting there and he's wind up to hit the ball. You pull back, and when you release it, instead of the ball getting hit, the guy just goes flying forward because
Mm-hmm.
you're controlling the guy. So you have this ragdolling dude bouncing around that you can just fling and are trying to hit the pole.
Mm-hmm.
But that expands to like there's like a small golf course, right? You're at a green,
Mm-hmm.
but there's like a living room setup where you would normally hit the ball. And when you
Mm-hmm.
fling something, you're controlling the vase. And if the vase hits a rock, it's going to break immediately. So you got to intricately fling this vase down the green until it hits the pole.
Huh. It's kind of
There's
interesting.
somewhere it's like, hey, guess what? There's 90 balls. Just make sure one hits them. And you're just like launching them. Like it's ridiculous. It's crazy. It's really, there is an overworld, which is nice because you kind of like find your way to the next hole. And then each hole will have a pretty easy objective to see like what the new mechanic is. It'll have a bit harder one where it actually gives you a par, and then it'll give you like a final one that kind of turns it on its head a little bit more. They're all fairly easy to do so far, but there's a lot of there's quite a bit of weird stuff in here. There's also a daily challenge that is just like it's from what I've determined, it's just really random levels that I would have to assume are somewhere in the game. But I'm going to load up the daily challenge, which has actually been different than what I played earlier. So maybe daily challenge is literally just we're going to make a random playlist. So right now I control the ball, and on the green there's a car and a whole row of barrels. When I hit the barrels, everything explodes.
Oh.
So
Okay.
how does
As you'd
this work?
expect.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to get past these barrels because when I touch the barrels, the ball also explodes. Maybe I have to hit the car. Okay, so when I hit the car starts driving forward, which will give me an opening to get through these barrels. Also, for whatever reason, whenever I do a stroke, my strokes go down. Like I got it in 2 shots, but my score was -5. I don't know. That makes no sense. This next one, it looks like a racetrack, and I'm controlling a car. There's also barrels, so I have to avoid these barrels. I don't know. It is just a incredibly silly and fun game. I believe this is coming to Switch as well. That's probably what you played on, John, right?
I don't even remember what version it was. Like I said, it was just a demo kiosk a year ago.
Did you have a controller with it at least?
It was probably an Xbox controller, yeah.
Okay, so maybe it's coming to PC as well. I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't coming to PC. But yeah, right now it's on Apple Arcade, and that's another one that if you are taking part in this free subscription service, free month trial, I should say, it's $5 subscription
Yeah,
service.
it says Windows, Linux, Mac OS, and it's
Right.
on Steam.
Okay, so maybe it's not Switch. Why did I think it was Switch? Someone else may have mentioned Switch. Anyway, What the Golf is very good. I would recommend it quite a bit.
I think you're thinking that because it was in the indie showcase
So
recently.
maybe it's coming to Switch then? Yeah. Anyway, good game. Can't recommend it enough. Gears 5. I've been playing a whole bunch of Gears 5.
Okay.
Still just the campaign mode.
Mm-hmm.
You can play as Jack in the campaign mode, which is interesting. So it has 3-player co-op for the whole game, which is a weird number.
Gears 5. Okay.
Gears 5 is
Weird.
3-player co-op. You
Uh-huh.
can play as Kate, like the main character. There's Dell and Jack. And so one of the players can be Jack. So I played a whole like chapter as Jack, or act as Jack, because there was like an achievement for doing a whole one as Jack. Jack's cool. He gets all, so normally if you're just playing, let's say you're playing 2-player co-op or even just single player, Jack is something that you kind of command to go do things like, hey, can you go pick up that gun for me and bring it over? I'm like running out of ammo. And you can
Okay.
use them like this in Horde as well. Like, crap, I don't have anything. Jack, fly over there and grab me that gun.
Mm-hmm.
Jack will also have abilities that are kind of needed to get through some obstacles. Like he can give you a shield. He can take over enemies. We saw that in its Horde mode, that if you're playing as Jack, that's like its ultimate ability is he can hijack an enemy, and then you're just playing as that enemy. In the campaign, Jack has all those abilities as well. So he can fly around, or it can fly around. It can hijack enemies, and then you're just in the firefight as one of the enemies, and they usually don't realize you've been hijacked until you start shooting them. So me and my buddy, we're playing. He's playing as Kate, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna fly to the back of the room, and I'll hijack whatever the biggest guy is, and I'll start taking them from behind while you're fighting up front. That's really cool. Jack's also like really powerful because it can move so much more fluidly than
Mhm.
a big bulky Gears of War character that snaps on everything it goes near.
Right.
So even just avoiding enemies is pretty easy. It has like a zapper that can split. If you just get close to like 3 enemies, it'll zap all 3 of them. You barely even have to like aim. It's a really good like. So okay, I hate to use this terminology.
Don't say it. No. I
It's
know what
bad
you're gonna say.
terminology.
Yeah,
Like,
don't say it.
okay, you're right. I shouldn't.
It's a
bad
different
terminology.
time. It's a different time.
No, you're right. Yeah, like so it's a good kid mode. Maybe I'll say
It's
that's
a
fine,
good,
right?
sure, yeah, it's a good son or daughter mode.
Like a kid mode because like
Sure.
Jack can also pick you up. You have to pick up Jack if Jack gets knocked, but Jack is pretty strong by themselves. Jack can also turn invisible if you need it.
Mhm.
Jack gets a shield. Like Jack's really strong, and if you're playing co-op with someone who's not that great at shooters or video games, have them play Jack, and they'll be totally useful.
Cool.
So
That sounds fun, actually. That sounds neat.
yeah, it is neat. So I'm really close to the end of Gears 5, which is good because that means I can finally start Borderlands. But I still want to play Horde with you guys.
Yeah,
We
we should
still
do
got to
it.
get some Horde going.
Yep, agreed.
I want to do that. So yeah, that's Gears 5. Moving on, Untitled Goose Game.
Right.
I'm surprised neither of you guys are playing Untitled Goose Game, to be honest.
Oh?
Just didn't have the time.
Yeah, it seemed like it would have been something kind of on your guys' radar. I would have assumed.
I have it picked up. I just have not sat down to play it.
Right. The internet went crazy for this game over the last week. Holy smokes, so many tweets.
I did see that. Yeah, it has gone crazy. You're right.
Untitled Goose Game is very good. It is extremely strong. It knows exactly what it's doing, what the joke is, and it
Mhm.
is like firing on all cylinders, hitting that joke so well. That goose animates so perfectly. Like that is such a powerful waddle that you get as that goose. As such, it has a great like intro and title card. The honk is great. If you pick up a bottle, which I mean, the goose puts its beak in a bottle and then lifts its head so that the
Of
bottle's
course.
stuck on its head. The
Uh-huh.
honk is a different sound.
Yeah, that makes sense. All
And that's
right.
great.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. No, it is extremely good. Um, every so the way the structure works is it's technically a stealth game. It's actually a bit harder than you think it would be.
Mhm.
Um, I'm only on the 3rd stage. I just got to the 3rd stage. I haven't played much of it yet, but it's I guess the tagline for those if somehow you've made it to September 26th and you don't know what Untitled Goose Game is, first off, congratulations. That's impressive. But second off, Untitled Goose Game it's a delightful day in the village, and you are a horrible goose. And as such, you're just a goose that for no reason, much like the Joker, you just want to mess with people. You just want to break their stuff, steal their stuff for no other reason, except that you're an evil goose. So the first level, you'll like come across a gardener, and you need to like steal his keys, um, drag his rake out of the garden, and put it in the lake so that he can't use it anymore. Stuff like that. And so it ends up being quite a bit of a stealth game. You need to like hide. You're moving around hedges and stuff. You're hiding in bushes, but all the while you're this hilarious looking goose, which it makes everything so much funnier, and it's just great. Like honestly, the Goose Game is super good, and I'm loving all the jokes on the internet about it. I'm trying to think some of my favorite moments. In the 2nd stage, you need to there's a kid playing with his soccer ball. You need to go up and untie his shoes
Mhm.
so that he bends over so that you can steal his glasses. And then you need
Okay.
to put other glasses in the vicinity so that he puts on the wrong glasses.
Just rude.
Yeah, no, of course it is. One of the objectives in the stage 2 is also this kid's scared of you. You need to get him locked in a phone booth.
Great. This is all
Another
rude.
one, again, this poor
Absolutely.
kid, you need to take the kid's toy airplane and you need to bring it to the shop that's in the area.
Okay.
And you need to put it in the shop so that the shopkeeper finds it. The shopkeeper hates you. The minute the shopkeeper sees there's a goose in the shop, they try and like shoo him away with a broom.
Okay. Makes sense.
You need to get the plane in the shop so that the shopkeeper finds it, says, "Oh, what's this?" and then puts it on the shelf. Then you need to get the kid in the shop so that he finds his airplane, has an argument with the shopkeeper, and is forced to buy his own airplane back.
Mm.
It is, oh my god, it is extremely good. It is so funny. Like it is exactly what you want from that game. I can't recommend Untitled Goose Game enough. I hear it's a bit short. I don't know how many stages there are specifically. I know there's at least 3.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily they came out with a launch discount of 25% off. So instead of $20, it was 15.
So you haven't finished it then?
I have not.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I've been going through it like with the girlfriend. This has been a really great girlfriend game. She's really into the goose. So I have not played a ton of it.
Gotcha.
What else have I been playing? Still going through Link's Awakening. Just checking in.
Okay. Yep.
That game's good. I'm like 3 dungeons in. I also did the color dungeon, which I've technically have never played because I didn't have Link's Awakening DX.
Sure.
But that game still just looks real nice.
Are you still into it? Super into it, or yeah? Okay, good.
Still pretty into it. Yep, for sure.
Cool. Good.
All right, now we get to the games I did not like of the games I played, starting with Jump Force.
Okay. Sure.
This game is extremely boring.
I forgot this game existed.
So it came to Game Pass like a week or 2 ago.
Gotcha. Okay.
The same day Bloodstained came, so it was like, wow.
Oh, really? That's
These are
funny.
2 different sides of the quality spectrum. I played maybe an hour of Jump Force and then uninstalled it. It just seems so lame. I don't like the way the characters look. They all look like action figures. Which
Okay.
is not bad, but it also means during all of these really long cutscenes that, one, they're in Japanese, so I have to pay attention to them. That's not a problem. It just means I can't also be on my phone at the same time. So I'm staring at all these characters who look like action figures, so they don't emote or barely move.
Oh.
And their faces are
weird.
always just in the this big eyebrows down and smirk because they're about to fight. That never changes. Every one of them are just looking at each other like that, like they're dead inside. While they talk about, I don't know, how Vegeta's evil again because of a cube or something. It just makes it extremely boring. You want to play a game that does action figures right? You play Amped 3. You go watch some Amped 3 cutscenes. They did action figures right. There's a barbecue. It's a whole thing. This game is just super boring. Also, the combat is just mashy, and I've never been a huge fan of this kind of, I don't want to say open world, but not side combat. It reminds me of the old Budokai Tenkaichi games. Just not a big fan of it in general.
Right.
But it's got all your favorites there.
But you can be Naruto.
Yeah, you can be Naruto. I made a lady character, and her name was Lady Anime.
That's a good name.
Yeah, you in the overworld you can't run, so it's pretty slow getting from one mission to the next.
Cool.
The overworld also kind of just looks bad. It definitely feels like, hey, we put all of our time and energy into animating these characters and their super attacks, but now we need to make some geometry for you to kind of walk around in. So that all just kind of feels half-assed and looks pretty boring and plain. I don't know. It's just kind of feels like a cash grab on the property.
Sure.
So I can't recommend it. And I also played. We all played some Mario Kart Tour.
Yeah.
So why don't you guys start talking? What do you think about Mario Kart Tour? I'm not a huge fan of it.
I liked it.
I hate it.
I like it.
You hate it.
Well, I hate the control scheme. That's what I hate. I can't find a control scheme I like in the game.
I tried the what is I don't even remember what it's called. It's not the simple one. It's the other one that they say you can.
Like drift or something.
Yeah, there's a point.
The recommended controls, I think, is what they called it.
There's a point in the game where they're like, "You should try this out. We're gonna try this out now, okay?" I was like, "Yeah, okay." And then it makes you like do a race with that, and then it asks you after, "Did you like that?" You can switch back. What the fuck? That's the worst control scheme I've ever used.
It asked you to do that because it did to me.
I've been playing on simple, and for a while I was just like, this feels floaty and shitty, but I got used to it, so I was like, okay, this is fine. And then it asked me, try this. So I try it, and I'm like, what is this? This is fucking terrible. Every time I touch the screen, I'm just like drifting and turning into a part of the level I don't want to be in. Why would I play this way? So yeah.
I started with the drifting one when it gave you the first option. I was like, oh, I'll do the drifting one. This is clearly like what the like high level Mario Kart people are going to want to play as. And of course I want to drift. Yeah, let's do that. And I was getting used to it. It's a lot of like really anticipating your turns.
Mm-hmm.
But I still just like never felt great with it. I actually went back to simple and I was like, this is fine for what I want, but I also don't want to play this game.
Oh, okay.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I started with the complex or with the drift one, and then I hated that I couldn't do small turns.
Right.
Because that was the main. I wanted to correct my steering, and that was
when you are in the drift
can't
mode,
do that.
You tap the screen, your character's like, oh, we're drifting now?
Yeah.
Immediately yanks on the controls, like you are sideways in an instant.
Yep.
So supposedly the best way to play the game is with that on and the gyro controls, because the gyro controls will let you do proper steering, and then touching the screen will let you do the drifting. But I don't like the gyro controls in the game, so that option is out for me.
I haven't tried the gyro. I'll give that a shot later tonight, but yeah, I mean, well, I like this game. I think it's fine. I think it's fun. Yeah, I do. I think it's fine.
Let's hear from you then, because John and I don't like this game. Why do you like this?
Because it's fucking Mario Kart on your phone. Who gives a shit? Mario Kart's never been great to me.
Yeah, it's really I could say the same thing about, hey, it's Animal Crossing on your phone.
Yeah.
And no, it is not. Don't even come at me with that.
It is, though, technically.
Oh, God.
Like, I played it a bit more today to give it another try, to be like, all right, maybe I just was shitting on it too early. And then I still, like, I got used to controls, but I'm like, okay, it still has that Mario Kart, like, oh yeah, you either got really shit over by items and you don't get a good placement, or you just get through it no problem. But then, like, also placement doesn't matter, which is also weird.
No, it doesn't. Like, the points, it's actually weird. So here's the thing, right? What matters is what characters you have unlocked, the cart, and the glider, depending on which level. Because this is what I don't like about it. It's a gacha game with like a season pass or something. What the fuck is going on?
Oh man, let's save the season pass stuff for later, because that's a whole other thing.
Okay.
But like, it is a gacha game, and this is okay. I had a weird reaction to this that you guys wouldn't have.
Okay.
I had forgot this was coming out until like a day or two before, and I was like, oh right, I should try that out. And then I immediately remembered, like, okay, it's a free to play game, and I heard it's gacha, and I was like, I am literally living on a high right now when it comes to like mobile games. Like, I have just been playing banger after banger, and I've got a whole backlog on my phone of some stuff I cannot wait to get to.
Yeah.
And now what's coming out is a free-to-play gacha game?
Yeah.
Like, my tolerance for that stuff was already so low, and right now I'm just like, you couldn't pay me to play Mario Kart Tour. Oh my God, no. Like, I feel like it came out at such a bad time.
It's kind of funny.
For anyone who's playing Apple Arcade, like, why on earth would you play Mario Kart Tour? I can't even fathom that.
Sure, yeah. I don't think a lot of people are they? I've been seeing the same.
It is the #1 Nintendo game I saw.
I've been seeing similar names in a lot of.
It's got more downloads than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has.
Well, no, I think it was the #1 mobile game is the one I saw on like day one. 10 million downloads.
Yeah, that I did hear. But then apparently it also has had more downloads than like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sold copies of.
That makes sense to me. This is free and it's on phones.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even need a Switch. Like
Sure.
I would assume kids would have a phone before they have a Switch at this point.
Yeah.
I would just
Sure.
that's my guess, which is weird to think about.
Yeah, it is.
Um, I don't know. My main issue with it is, so first off, the levels are short. You only have to
Yeah,
do 2
it's
tracks.
two laps. Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's what
which
I
I
like
guess,
about it.
and I guess that's good for the mobile thing, is you want to get in and out quick.
Yeah.
But I also just feel like even with the turning, like I don't even feel like I'm really putting much effort into these turns. And I'm sure it's because like I've constantly been in first because I'm not that far into it because I don't really like it. But like when I'm playing Mario Kart, there's like I need to kind of be on my shit. I need to make sure these turns are going well, and I just never feel that way. Probably because I don't like the control schemes at all to get enough into like, got to hit this drift just perfectly, and then I'm gonna ride this. Like I don't know. I just there's like a depth to it that I'm just not getting from there. So I just don't feel any kind of like joy finishing those short levels like I would in Mario Kart. Like in Mario Kart, I love playing those, and and actually in those ones I'm constantly in first a lot of the time as well. Like that's just kind of how it ends up being the case for a lot of the CCs. You know, that differs when you're playing against humans, but there
Sure.
is still something just enjoyable about navigating that cart around those environments.
Mm-hmm.
And I even tried like, hey, I wonder if I could just use a controller because iOS 13. This game
Sure.
came out after iOS 13 came out, which allowed
Yeah.
the iPhone to pair a Bluetooth controller to it. And no,
Sure.
you can't. So that's a bummer. Maybe that'll come later, but I don't know.
Yeah, that does suck for sure.
Yeah, you can actually send them feedback, and one of the options is complain about controls. So that's what I did.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I booted it up here so we can talk about a bunch of things here.
Okay. I'll do
What
the
do you
same.
want to start with?
I mean, we
Let's talk
mentioned
about.
the past. Do you want to talk about that weird?
No, I'm gonna talk about this. So they're special. Like they're doing the New York set right now,
Yeah.
the New York Cup or whatever they're calling it.
Uh-huh.
So that means all the items are themed to New York or Odyssey or New Donk City.
Right.
What?
There's a pack you can buy right now
Right.
where you can get you only can buy it once. It gives you 45 of those rubies, which lets you do the pulls for gacha items. Mario is unlocked, and you get 5-star tickets, which basically lets you skip having to earn 5 stars. And it's $28 Canadian.
Canadian, yeah. I think it's like 20 American.
Yeah. Then there's the actual gold pass.
Yeah, this is a
Yeah.
subscription, which is
Yeah.
insane to think about.
Yeah.
So
it is.
you get gold gifts by racing in tours.
Mm-hmm.
You earn badges from gold challenges, and you unlock 200cc racing, which means you get more points, which means you
Right.
get a higher score overall on all your stages.
Yeah, again,
Is
think about that for a sec. You unlock like the fastest cart mode.
Yeah.
It's behind the subscription. That's kind of what a lot of people are complaining about.
Yeah, that sucks.
It does kind of suck.
Yeah.
it is $6.49 per month, which I assume would be $5 American
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
a month. Yeah. You get 2-week free trial as well.
Okay.
And the way that the gold gifts work is that when you earn stars, gifts appear on your track list here, and you can unlock a normal set, and then there's an extra set you unlock if you have the gold pass. Which, if you buy the gold pass, you can go back and get them later. So if you just unlock a bunch, you're like, man, there's something I actually want out of this. Turn on the gold pass, go back and grab all the items. So at least there's that, but
the subscription is insane to me. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
there is already like 1,000 subscription services we're getting blasted with.
Mhm.
This coming out, it's like who thinks this is a good value? Like, who's the person where they're like, this is the one I want? Screw Netflix. I want the Mario Kart Tour subscription. Like, what? And again, it's the price of Apple Arcade.
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
issue
that's
with
the
this game
crazy
so
one.
far is that I'm already getting repeat tracks, which is insane.
I mean,
Because
Yeah.
there's only so
I'm only
many
3
tracks.
cups in.
I
Oh,
know.
that's kind of weird. Okay, that is weird.
They don't stop either, just as a heads up.
Do you have any
get
idea
a lot
how
of
many
repeats.
different tracks there are?
I haven't heard.
Just like from what you've seen, if you had to kind of guess, how many different have you seen? If you could think of.
Let's see. Right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, is that where I stopped? No, there we go. 9.
Maybe
10.
10.
Yeah, 10.
Yeah,
I'm at
maybe
10 right
10.
now.
That's weird. That seems low. I know it is a free game, but you would think they would have launched with something a bit stronger.
So the interesting thing is if you scroll for a while, it says like, oh, hey, I want to go do the like Diddy Kong Cup. It says, well, there's 1 day left. It's still under construction. So that's how they're like gating people. They're keeping you from going too far because they're just like, yeah, no, we don't have content here yet.
Right. Or they're just like bringing it in slowly for whatever reason. I don't know.
Yeah, but like the roster for characters is fucking laughable so far.
Really,
hang on.
like even in because you're unlocking them through the gotcha thing, right? So I'm assuming there's a
Yeah.
bunch.
There's 20.
Seems like a good
there's
amount, no?
there's Mario. There's Baby Mario.
There's Mario with a fedora.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's Mafia Mario, and then there's Metal Mario. So 4 of the 20 are just Mario.
Okay, I mean, I play a game called Dragon Ball Fighters, and that has 6 different Gokus. So
Yeah, was it Baby Mario, Baby Peach, Baby Daisy, Koopa Troopa, Shy Guy, Dry Bones, Mario, Peach, Yoshi, Daisy, Toad, Toadette, Bowser, Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, Metal Mario, Peachette, Pauline.
wait, isn't Peachette just Peach with a different crown on?
No, that's Toadette with the super crown.
Which one's Peachette?
Yeah. He just said
it's Toadette with the super crown on.
With the crown, yeah.
But doesn't that turn her into like Peach?
Yes, the character's name is Peachette.
Yeah, which looks exactly like Peach. So the only difference is it's Peach with a crown on.
It's Peach with a different crown on and a different dress.
Okay. All right.
Pauline, Mafia Mario, or as they call it, Mario Musician, and Dry Bowser. So Luigi's not even in the game yet.
I love it. It's so funny.
They're going to put Luigi in, like a timed event around Luigi's Mansion 3.
I could actually see that. You're right.
Yeah, that's probably the case.
Which is a month from now. Halloween. Honestly, that's like I'm not looking for a ton of characters in my kart racer. Like they got Toad. I'm good. As far as
I don't need 4 versions of Mario when you don't have Luigi.
That's true. That is true.
And those aren't even the characters I'm mad about. Like I wanted Waluigi and Rosalina. They're not in yet. They will be at some point. People said in the beta they were there. But not having Luigi in is stupid. Actually stupid.
Yep.
Someone says we'll get Gooigi before Luigi. They should.
You know what? That's probably what's going to happen.
Oh,
that's
that'd be
probably
so
what's
good.
actually going to happen.
Luigi is such
insane.
a good name, man.
It is a good name.
It's called Mario Kart, John. Yeah, what's Luigi's last name? Mario. Nice try.
I don't know. This game just feels lifeless to me. Or I should say, it feels soulless to me.
I'm more mad about the fact that if you can tell effort was put into this. Like
They
redid tracks that don't have 3D versions.
Mm-hmm.
They have like, yeah, like there's just tracks that aren't in here. They made new tracks and everything, and it's just, yeah. I will guarantee 100% if I could control this with a controller, my mind would probably change significantly, but not enough to still say like, yes, you must play this.
It makes me just want like a new Mario Kart, like just like a proper one, or just maybe I should go back and play 8 some more. Honestly, it even makes me want to download Mario Kart on my Switch, the SNES version, and I don't even really like that version that much.
I guess my final thought on it is it's a mobile version of Mario Kart. What you motherfuckers thinking it was going to be. Like, this is totally
better
fine.
than this shit.
I feel like you're
totally
discounting
fine.
mobile games with that statement. And I'm playing a shit ton of great mobile games right now.
It's fine. It's totally fine.
I think this is one of the worst mobile games that Nintendo's put out, and that's saying something.
No, this is better than Animal Crossing by far.
Right. He didn't say the worst. Said it's one of the worst.
Fair enough.
Animal Crossing one's real bad. I'm not. But John, you were a big fan of Dr. Mario, right?
I was enjoying it, and then I got burnt out on it because I got to the point where they start being real cheap and they want your money.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of, I have enough gems to do a pipe fire, as they call it. What am I gonna get?
Yeah, that's what the kids are calling it these days.
All right. Oh, I got a green pipe. Oh, it fired. I got Koopa Troopa for the 3rd time.
Well, it's a gacha game. What do you expect? Like, of course you're gonna get stuff multiple times. Then you got to make them. You got to combine them until they can like evolve or.
No, they auto combine.
Yeah.
Yeah. They do.
Yeah, now he's level 2, and I've got 1 out of 5 experience marked towards getting him to be level 3. And
Nice.
there's,
Cool.
I don't need cars or anything. Even for a gacha game, this is bad. I hate it.
Like I said, it is definitely weird playing some like premium, like paid for mobile games again.
Yeah.
Because it reminds me of like before the free to play stuff came out, when mobile games was like fresh and new and we weren't kind of plagued by all this, and then kind of going back, because it's like I can't go back. I can't go back. I've seen how good it can be.
I know. Yeah, I realized I didn't even talk about buying the currency in this game too either. So
did you put some money in?
No, God, no.
Okay.
You think I'd talk this much heat about it and still put money in? So you need 5 rubies to get a pipe pull, and you can't just buy 5. You can buy 3.
Oh wow!
Or you can buy 10.
So you're gonna get 6. So you're gonna end up with 1 other, to the point where it's like, well, I might as well just buy a few more so I don't have
exactly. That's exactly why they did it, and it's so frustrating.
Wow, that is frustrating.
3 is $2.79 Canadian. 10 is $8.49. 23 is the next option at $18. 48 at $37.
Are any of these, except, okay, you said there's a 10.
There's a 10.
Are any of them divisible by 5?
No. Well, sorry, the last one is.
Which is like 100?
The $100 one.
48 is 37. 93 is $70, and 135 is $100 Canadian.
Yes. Okay. Again, like, how much would you pay to like not deal with all the microtransaction-y free-to-play stuff and just get like a Mario Kart game on your phone?
If I controlled good, I'd pay full price.
Yeah, for this I wouldn't pay.
That's like
for this.
$60 to $80. I would not pay $60, $80 for this.
I wouldn't pay anything for this, which is why I don't mind this model. Because I can uninstall it at any time and nothing's been lost.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah,
for time, but I see where you're going with that.
Yeah.
No, there is something to be said about like, why get this angry at a game you spent $0 on? Like, yeah.
Well, no, I'm not even saying that necessarily. What I'm saying is that this isn't worth any money. So it's good that it's free to play. And this is all just unfortunately, this is all just standard free to play bullshit. Like everybody knows that you never allow the player to just buy enough for the thing they want. You got to give them a little bit more to entice them to spend more, and you got to hook those whales. Like it's all honestly, it has all of that gross bullshit in it for sure.
I'd rather them not give me that extra 1 left over, just so I don't have to like think about it. That's like why I don't carry a lot of cash anymore, because I don't want change. Like, do not give me change. I don't want to deal with having to put it in like a jar somewhere.
Yep. Agreed.
Okay. Anyway, that's all I've been playing. John, you're next on the list. Why don't you keep going?
Sure. What the hell have I been playing this week? Beat River City Girls. I enjoyed it. Hated the ending, but I can't say why without spoiling the ending. So I still think it's worth playing. Fun cooperative game. I played it single player. Still good that way. You unlock extra characters in New Game Plus after it, which is supposed to be harder, but all your stats carry over. So it's actually cathartic more than anything. So I started doing New Game Plus and had fun with that. After that, I started playing. All right, I guess for game clearing, we finished up Ori and the Blind Forest this week.
Nice. What did you think overall?
I came around on that game.
It's good, right? And it's so pretty.
It is
There's
very
still
pretty.
some things I will be honest. I think that game's up its own ass at times because
Sure.
I hated the escape sequences. Like I'm just like,
Oh,
no,
okay.
stop! I'm so sick of them. Please, I will fight a boss instead. Please.
I thought you were talking about just like the tropey unearned, oh, I have to have feelings right away sort of thing right at the beginning to care about these characters.
I mean,
I thought the story was
that's
fine.
that's a different argument.
Sure.
And
Well, that's what I
I'm
thought
hit
you
or miss on
meant.
that one. No,
Sure.
I'm hit or miss on that one.
Like, you always got to kill the dog at the beginning because this is the bad. Like, I'm just sick of that
I
thing.
appreciated
But
that they were like, all right, we're gonna get you invested. I thought the
chase sequences specifically didn't do it for you, though, huh?
I really did not like the chase sequences. I think they're the worst part of the game.
I don't
But
remember
the
having much of an issue with
the problem is they're in there because they're also the most memorable. So that's why they're in there.
Sure.
But I don't want to do like 3 or 4 of them. They went too in on it. That's my issue with it.
I think my only problem with them myself was that I felt they were too long. I felt they overstayed their welcome. Specifically, the tree one, I remember being egregiously.
The tree
like,
one is surprisingly long, and it's the first one.
It's really long.
Because the one after that, I'm like, oh, this is not too bad. Like it's
Sure.
got some weird moments to it, but it wasn't like stupidly long.
Sure.
And then the last one was just like, oh yeah, you made one mistake here. Now you're kind of stuck here. You're not.
I don't remember the last. Oh, the last one had like the boss fight associated, right, with it.
Well, you would have expected to be a boss fight, yeah.
Right. Okay.
That's my problem. I felt like, and apparently it was obviously a conscious decision to be like, yeah, I don't think boss fights fit the style of this game. And I can see why they do that, but I think it's a weaker game because of it. I didn't want to keep doing escape sequences. Come up with something different.
Yeah.
So other than that, I enjoy the actual exploration. I even enjoy the combat, honestly, like because it was more about dodging than anything else. So the movement tech in that game is really fun. There's a lot of aspects of it that I like. It's just I don't like the escapes.
It's weird because I think the reason the escapes are there is so that they can showcase gimmicks around the movement stuff specifically, which I think we all agree is the best part of the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. They do fail a little bit on that, I think, and I don't know why.
And they rubber band too, which is another thing. So you can't get ahead of things; they'll just catch up to you.
I didn't even realize that. I don't remember.
Yeah,
that.
Yeah. No, they rubber band. Even the water in the escape sequence rubber bands. But shoot, what was I gonna say? Playing the definitive edition was weird because there were a lot of things that were just broken because of the new stuff they gave you.
Oh.
Like people are like, "Oh wow, that was a really difficult puzzle in the original version, and it's just trivial in this one."
Oh, what did they add?
A bunch of so they added a dash move,
so
you could dash on the ground or dash in midair.
Yeah, it's like another jump.
Oh,
yeah, so it's basically a 4th jump.
How early do you get that?
After the tree.
Yeah, you can get it pretty early if I remember correctly.
And then the other ability to give you, which is in the same area as the dash, is a light grenade. The light grenade, you throw it at switches to activate them, or you throw it and you bash off of it. So you basically have a portable item to always bash off of, which makes a lot of things super trivial.
Interesting. Huh.
Yeah. So again, the movement's great, but it also completely broke itself.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of these complaints, but it's been a while.
I mean, this is me. Like, I can guarantee most people probably didn't mind the escape sequences. Most people didn't mind that definitive edition the new stuff it breaks the old stuff.
Yeah, so I don't remember having kind of any negative reactions towards either of those.
I think it's also because it's been so long and it was praised so much to me that I'm just like, it's all right. Like, it's got issues.
Sure.
I'm curious to see how the sequel's going to be. I am hyped for the sequel.
Yep, yeah, me too.
But I also that is also not like top tier Metroidvania to me.
Okay.
I do remember hating the tree specifically, so that part I can sympathize.
The funny thing was, like, after the tree, I had a bunch of people in chat being like, "Yeah, I stopped playing the game around this point for some reason. I can't remember why." Like, a bunch of people were saying that.
Weird.
I think the tree just put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, and then I definitely feel like they made the tree easier in definitive.
I just feel like it lasted too long. That was my main issue
I
with it.
mean, yeah, they could have toned them down a little bit. There's all like a lot of little nitpicks, but like there's a
Sure.
lot of, like I said, a lot of stuff I like, and then there's just these little things that are just like,
Sure.
why?
Mm-hmm.
I also played. I think I can say this now because the game's officially out. Gunvolt Chronicles: Luminous Avenger X.
Nice.
Before I played the Switch version, so this is the third Gunvolt game. This is starring a different character named, I guess, X. That's what he's known as, the Luminous Avenger. The best way to compare this that I was told, and honestly, I think I agree with it. If you thought that the original Gunvolt games were Mega Man, this is Mega Man X.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about movement speed and stuff like that. You have multiple dashes you can do that are midair and also on the ground. If you dash into an enemy, you lock onto them and your shots do double damage. And like they're homing, so you can be anywhere around the enemy and do the damage. If you dash without hitting anything, you use up a bullet. And if you're out of bullets, you'll take actual health damage if you get shot. Otherwise, the bullets can be used to save you from taking physical damage. You can reload them whenever you want, but it stops your movement. So another thing you can do is if you dash into walls or into enemies, you'll recharge your bullets as well. So the idea is like you'll be ping-ponging around, going super fast, locking enemies, fly around them, hover around them, and then just keep going. So it's a very high-speed moving game, which I really liked.
Cool. That sounds awesome.
It's done by Inti Creates, so it's the guys who did Mega Man Zero and a couple other games, so you'll be familiar with them if you play that. You get sub-weapons. There's a kudos system where the longer you go without taking hits and doing more damage to enemies, the more points you get. And if you hit to a certain point, like you get infinite dashes and stuff like that and extra damage.
Cool.
The bosses are pretty cool. They're rough to fight. Like it's well done. It's making me actually want to go back and play Gunvolt because I remember trying to play Gunvolt and being like, this didn't grab me, but this one felt like it did. And I don't know if it's just the speed difference between the two or not.
Yeah. This sounds great. I'm really looking forward to trying this one.
This came out today, so I'm probably going to start Cookie on Saturday with it because Inti Creates gave me a code. I'm just like, all right, I'll stream this, sure.
Yeah, nice.
Otherwise, what else did I say I wrote down here?
River City.
No, that was it. We already talked about River City, and yeah, that's pretty much it. The only other thing I played was what we'll talk about after the podcast, which is
right,
our Patreon podcast game.
Yep.
So that's all I've been playing.
All right. I finished off Ashen with my buddy, so we finished that game off.
Hey.
Yeah, that game's good.
Good game. Not enough people talked about that game, but it's
That's a good game. That ending sucks balls. We started up Gears of War 4, though. So
see that. Okay.
We're going through... Well, I mean, I could explain. It's just a boss run that sucks. The boss that sucks and is uninteresting, especially after the previous boss is cool. And then it just kind of ends with credits. There's nothing, like, satisfying at all about that ending. But there's DLC, so we're going to probably jump back into that at some point.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
There is DLC, whole new zone. So, yeah. We started Gears of War 4, though, because I want to do 5, and neither he or I have played through 4, so it's like, well, let's do 5 together, or let's do 4 together before we do 5 together. So we're just going to go...
is this on Game Pass for PC?
It is, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're playing on that, and yeah, it's been okay so far. We're not that deep into it yet. I think we're just at the end of Act 1, so we're just kind of like finding out all the characters, the main characters and stuff like that. Yeah, that's a Gears game. It plays very, very well.
Yeah,
so
it's fine. It's Gears.
Yeah.
Gears 5.
I played Creature in the Well. I started Creature in the Well.
Right.
It's very good. It's really good. Like, holy shit. One of my main things right from the get-go, and I remember saying something along the lines of, I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but I'm so glad this isn't a pixel art game. Like, it's just absolutely beautiful. I'm kind of sick and tired of, like, just pixel arty things. I've been playing a lot of them recently, so it's been kind of nice going to Creature in the Well that has a very like painterly look to it, like ink
It's
paintings
like
or
cell
something.
shaded.
Like
Yeah.
cell shading a little bit, yeah, but it's a little, it's weird. It's out there, I'll say, with how it presents the environments and stuff.
What
Um,
level are you on?
I guess I'm going to. I finished off 3 rooms or
3
whatever.
rooms.
So you have this main hub, and then you have like the different pillars that light up, and you hit a ball to, and then it opens the gateway to like that part of the
3 of
mountain.
those?
I've finished like 3 of those, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you have like 5 or 6 more or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, they keep adding on just a few like items I can try out, and they kind of change the way you play that game. Like I was having trouble with one part. I guess like I should probably explain again what this game is just as a quick reminder, but Sean talked about this at length when he was playing it. It's a game that's like a dungeon crawling, almost like an action adventure RPG type thing, but its focus is around pinball mechanics for like combat and puzzle solving. And what this entails is that you're using a, I can't remember what the name of it is. It's like a weapon that transfers energy into these like orbs that you like slash at to transfer energy into them. And then you use another weapon to kind of smash that, or like another item, because they're rarely weapon like, to like kind of smash the orb into a conduit that will do either, you have to like get a bunch of conduits down to like open
Like
up the
charges the thing, and then eventually it'll be like full and it'll go away or something like that, or
right,
it'll move on to the next phase or something.
right, exactly. And like the whole idea is that there's a creature living in this mountain that people
Yeah, how do
have
you
dug.
like the like world building and stuff?
It's very cool. That creature is actually pretty scary too.
It's
Just
cool.
every now and then
The whole
seeing some
setup.
eyes looking at you, like
Yep. Yep.
it's, yeah,
Have you
kind of
died
creepy.
yet?
I have, yeah, and they just kind of
Okay.
throw you out of it, or
Yep.
it throws you out of it. It's cool. Oh yeah, I guess again mechanically it's a roguelite, so you go as far in as you can, and then you'll be thrown out, and you can just come back in. But like,
Yeah, but like
it's not
it,
randomly generated, really.
it's
So
not procedurally generated, and you're not really doing runs. Like there's specific dungeons you're going through. I
yeah,
almost really, like wouldn't call it like a roguelike
mm,
because like there is so much of like I finished this dungeon onto the next dungeon
sure,
kind of stuff.
sure,
Because like I wouldn't use the term runs in this game like at all, really.
yeah, okay, fair enough. Uh, Yeah, I don't know. So, anyways, now that you know the basic concept, I was having trouble getting this one area all lit up or whatever, all the conduits lit up with the energy balls. So, I tried switching to something different, and this was like a stick and that you can use to transfer energy, but like its subtext even says like, but there's like no power regulator on it. And what this means is that like you can just grab a bunch of energy balls, but they're gonna fucking kill you because you're
Yeah.
just overpowering like.
I didn't use that stick until after the game because I was like, how do I get this one achievement? And that's how
Okay.
you get like 7 balls at once achievement. And I was like, oh, because every
Yeah.
other one you can only do 3.
You can only do 3 because they have limiters on them for how much energy you can
Yep.
transfer. So I used the stick for it because I wasn't getting enough energy to the diff with each bounce of the balls,
Okay.
and yeah, it was just like a one shot. Then I started using it more and more for just like random things to like overpower some stuff.
What's your go-to loadout right now?
Currently, my go-to loadout is the fan that heals the red energy balls,
Yeah, I use that one pretty much the entire game.
because there's a point now that I'm at where I'm just getting shot at all the fucking time. So
Yeah.
it's good to just like even stuff out. But if it's like a weird puzzle, I'll go back to the stick to get more balls bouncing around just to make things
Okay.
a little more
What's the
satisfying.
one you hit with though?
The one I hit with currently is, it's like a hammer that slows down time, so I can aim
Oh,
to
okay.
get through these like little holes.
Right. I used that briefly, and then I pretty much never used that one.
Okay, yeah.
My loadout for the longest time was so always the healing one, but the pan The
pan is really loud, but
It
it's
is loud,
yeah.
and it even says like it's real loud, but
Yeah.
it does a lot of damage,
Yeah.
which was really good. Sometimes it's like I just need to hit these guys hard because I'm not hitting them consistently enough.
Sure.
So the pan I used for quite a bit until some other ones came that you'll get later.
Sure. Sounds good. And yeah, you can kind of go through it pretty quickly if you want to. I've been spending time to go through the offshoots to get the like little secret areas to get the lore behind.
Yeah,
everything.
I got everything except I think there was like 2 rooms near the end that I just could not do. The timing and what they needed was like insane.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it going up a little bit. This is definitely going to be one of those sleeper games, I think, though, that
Yep, I think so.
Not enough people are going to talk about. I think it's very, very good.
I agree.
I learned maybe the hard way, though, that people don't like watching it. I got some complaints just being like, so you going to play something else? Like, well, no, I'm streaming this tonight. So, all right. I guess it's not as satisfying to watch as it is to play, but it's super satisfying to play.
Yeah, I could see that.
I could too, actually. I played that stupid KFC ad, and I'm so fucking angry. Holy shit, I'm mad. And this is why. I couldn't script this if I tried. Erin just came home, and look what she just literally put on my desk. I'm not even kidding. She just closed the door. You would have heard it if you were listening hard enough.
For the audio listeners, he held up a KFC drink.
I'm so fucking angry. We're gonna have a discussion later about KFC. So yeah, I played I Love You, Colonel Sanders, the finger licking love simulator, whatever the fuck it's called. Everything to do with KFC and Colonel Sanders is the worst part of that game because everything else is very charming and delightful.
Okay. How like deep of a dating sim is this game?
Very clearly like
yeah, but everybody else that doesn't have anything to do with Colonel Sanders or like chicken or whatever, it's like I could just see this being like a good visual novel. But instead it's a KFC
what's
thing.
What's wrong with Colonel Sanders? Like what's wrong with chatting with him?
There's nothing really wrong with him. It's just odd. It's weird because like you're at this culinary school.
They make him out to be perfect.
Right, he's the standard like. Honestly, you could take his model out, put in a different name, and like any model of like a classically handsome anime character or something, and it would be a different game completely. To be honest. But yeah,
okay,
I guess.
What's the problem with this game?
I don't really have a problem with this game per se. I think there's a lot of like kind of neat things about it, especially as a free thing that you can just like play for 2 hours.
Well, wait, I guess. Are you super angry about the game or about the drink then?
About the drink specifically.
Okay,
the fact
I thought you were really angry about the game.
No, I don't really care that much about the game. Like, I'm just angry that there's like this timing thing that happened here right as I'm about to talk about it. Yeah, I don't know. It's whatever. It's a visual novel dating sim that isn't too serious. I guess what's kind of surprising is they get like funny off-kilter writing done like down in a way I wasn't expecting, where there was more than a few times that I actually laughed and thought like, hey, that's just good writing right there.
This is what I'm picturing. I'm picturing a bunch of characters that are interesting, and then you go to talk to Colonel Sanders and he doesn't shut up about chicken.
No, that's not at all correct.
No. Okay. Yeah.
You go to Colonel Sanders and he's like the like cool hot dude who's just like super like.
Is he the bad boy that all your friends are saying
no,
you should hang out with, but you know you can change him?
I mean, yes, but no at the same time. He's literally perfect.
He's like the all-star student, yeah.
He's the all-star student, yeah. But
he's
like
the captain of the football team.
What are you
captain
guys
of the chicken cooking team.
Right, he's like yeah, exactly, like the captain of the football team. But that
yeah, it's a culinary school is where it's based.
It's a culinary school with 3-day semesters. So you have 3 days to have class.
And the professor is a corgi.
Is a corgi, yeah.
And this just sounds so much better. Okay, question everyone's asking, do you get to see his dick?
No. You do see his cock though.
Nice.
you do go to his house and there's
that with the sound.
There's a chicken. There's a chicken there. Yeah.
See, he has a pet chicken, and he's a
No, taxidermy chicken.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Should
I play this game?
No. Oh wait, you really like visual novels? Sure, why not?
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
cool.
It's a dumb anime visual novel. There's like, with some like references to KFC and chicken and Colonel Sanders. Like, that's really it. Cool. I'll give everybody the hot tip though. Anytime you're talking to him and there's an option for something, he really, really likes it when you talk about something that maybe you would buy at KFC. Like, maybe you should, like, want to make the mashed potatoes and gravy instead of
here's the thing. Yeah, like, I watched Reese play through the game, and the final dish you make is apparently the brand new item they're selling in KFC now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now I'm picturing, like, you guys are, like, sitting down and be like, do you want to like, order out? Where do you want to go? And your options are, like, big bucket of chicken, mashed potatoes with chicken, Crunchwrap Supreme. And you pick Crunchwrap Supreme, and he's like, you get the fuck out of my house.
No, it's more like, specifically the part I'm talking about is you're cooking with him at some point, and you're trying to decide, like, what you're going to make.
You're like, what about a tasty salad? And he's like, you're dead to me.
No, I think one of the options is, like, literally fried octopus or something. But of course he would like the potatoes and gravy because he's a Kentucky boy.
Sanders.
Okay. Yeah. It's fine. Honestly.
For free, it's pretty good.
For free, yeah. This is not something You know what? I lied. I would pay up to $5 for this, I think. I think it's worth about $5.
Shocked at that answer.
2 hours of fun for $5, sure. I think the biggest problem I have with it is that the opening cinematic that it has before, like, the menu makes it seem like it's going to be so much cooler than it actually is, because that's out of the world crazy, and then, like, it's a standard visual novel after that.
John, would you spend $5 on this?
I watched Reese play it. It seemed pretty fun, honestly.
Let me try and sell you on this. Let me try and upsell either of you on this. $7.99.
Okay.
It comes with a chicken sandwich.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
$2 for a chicken sandwich? Yeah.
Yeah, what, like, you cost KFC money with that deal just then.
You're telling me a chicken sandwich costs more than $7.99? This is a fast food joint.
Yeah, but I don't get a game every time I go to KFC.
Well, you're like barely getting.
Hang on, I'm looking up how much KFC's chicken sandwich is.
I'd be surprised if they have anything that costs more than $7.99 that doesn't also come with 20.
Have you not? That doesn't what?
Come with 20 of something.
Spicy Big Crunch sandwich combo. Am I cheating using a combo? No, I don't want to. I don't want to order. I literally just want to see how much the fucking thing is. I just want to see how much the goddamn sandwich is. It wants my address. It won't actually let me.
Okay, John, you're acting like you need to look this up when we know you have this menu memorized.
I was brought KFC, so let me look on the receipt. I mean, the combo is like $8 Canadian, roughly.
In the chat we have right now that you can apparently get a donut, chicken sandwich, and a drink for $7.99.
American.
I'm assuming that's American.
Yeah.
Based on our listeners.
Yeah, I mean, what I have here, it's roughly about $8 for a combo. So.
Okay. All right. Well, that was my question.
Great, I'm glad we handled that. And then, of course, after that, I played the best mobile game ever made, Mario Kart Tour. So there's nothing more to be said about that one.
All right, now you're just being a heel.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Apparently the donut sandwich is only available in Pittsburgh right now, so.
Donut sandwich sounds disgusting. That sounds terrible.
It's disgusting.
I've had a burger before. It was, the donut was just like a basic glazed.
So it's like a sugary burger?
It's kind of like a sweet, it's like a burger with some sweet, or like a sweet bun.
I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
I wanted to try it. That sounded so weird to me. I needed to try it.
Sure. I'm glad you did.
Okay, that does it for what we've been playing. Which, man, this episode's going to be long. Let's talk about some news. Starting with the Oculus Link. If you guys remember the Quest, the Oculus Quest is the totally all-in-one Oculus device. You do not need a computer for it.
Right.
The Oculus Link is a PC. It is a USB-C cable that will connect your PC to the Quest, giving it enough power that it can play Oculus Rift games.
I see.
Okay, so it can't play already made Rift games. It can only play games made for it right now.
The Quest,
Unless
yeah,
you need to.
It needs to be a specific SKU for the Quest. I understand there are some games that'll have like cloud saves between the versions, but you need to be careful about what you're buying because it's like a different SKU, a different platform, kind of.
Sure. Okay.
But also, the Quest is obviously less powerful. This boosts it up, making it powerful enough. This seems awesome as somebody who was thinking about getting a Quest, and now I can just also get this little bonus add-on if I ever needed the more power for something else.
So, is this like a little box that plugs in onto it or something? Like, what does it do to provide more power? It just plugs in?
Using your computer.
Oh, okay.
Now it's tethered to your computer. It's so that's what you're losing out on. It's no longer as portable.
Right.
Now you have your PC powering it.
But it's kind of the best of both worlds if you get both of them, right? So that's cool. Because then you can just
both headsets.
No, because weren't you saying that this just links your Quest? Like you could just unplug it and then, like, it's a Quest again, right? Or
yes.
Do you?
Yeah.
So
I think that's very cool. I'm so actually surprised they kind of did this. Considering it would definitely eat in sales of the Rift, but it just makes the Quest that much cooler of a product to buy. Like, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's very cool. State of Play, Sony's Nintendo Direct happened this week.
I missed it.
Yeah, so they did a new format. It looks exactly identical to Nintendo Directs now.
Okay.
Now it broke. Down to like the menu transitions and everything. It looks like a gray version of a Nintendo Direct.
Sure. Okay.
They showed off some new stuff. I'm trying to see like the big one is we got a Last of Us trailer, and it gave us the release date. That's the big news that came at the end of it.
Right.
Last of Us 2 is coming February 21st. Did either of you watch the trailer?
No.
Nope. I didn't like Last of Us 1.
Okay. Not did you. But Paul, you're a Last of Us fan, right?
I've never played through all of it. I've only played a bit of it.
Okay, that's incredible.
I don't like how it controls.
God, I love Last of Us.
I don't like the story.
If you like Last of Us, I thought this trailer was really good. I am extremely excited for that game. Looking forward to it a bit.
Cool.
Watam was shown off, the latest game from the Katamari developer.
Oh, right. Okay.
What else was announced? Civilization 6 is coming to consoles. They showed the first campaign trailer for Modern Warfare.
Okay.
Those were like the big highlights for the most part. The Last of Us was definitely kind of the showstopper, and that was at the end. That was pretty enjoyable.
Cool.
2 hours after that stream, Inside Xbox went live, which is Microsoft's version of the Nintendo Direct that doesn't look like a Nintendo Direct. This stream was extremely boring.
Oh,
this one was over an hour. The Sony one was like 22 minutes.
Yeah.
And was pretty enjoyable. This one just kept going and was really slow. The big news out of this one is they talked significantly about Project xCloud. And specifically, you can get in on the beta right now.
Oh, okay.
Which I did not do because it's only for Android phones.
Oh, okay.
Which doesn't happen that often. But for once, I felt left out in the mobile game space. But if you have an Android phone, you can sign up and try and get access to that beta. The beta is not live right now. I believe the beta is coming in October. There will be a public trial then, but you can still sign up to get like the email list to know when or if you get the chance to do it. It's only going to be available, however, in US, UK, and Korea.
Okay, so I don't care about it then. Good.
Yep, sucks to be you too.
I guess so.
And you'll be able to play Gears 5. Halo 5, Sea of Thieves, and Killer Instinct.
Okay.
over wireless controller via Bluetooth, and I think it has to be on Wi-Fi at the moment. I'm not sure if it's actually, it says on the sign-in page, Microsoft asks for 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi or mobile data connection of 10 megabits per second down. So curious to see what this turns out to be like. This is definitely exciting times.
Yeah.
Short update from the Dead Cells developer. They basically came out with some sales units. Dead Cells sold 2.4 million units across all platforms, and they described the Switch sales as completely ridiculous.
Okay.
Which I'm not surprised. That's the one I played it on.
Sure.
So it makes sense to me. They said they're going to have more content and changes coming this year, and they are busy prototyping their next game, minimum 2 years until they get to early access. So it's going to be Dead Cells for the next foreseeable future for them.
Cool. Okay.
Dead Cells is a great game.
Yeah, it is.
Google announced the Google Play Pass.
Yeah, I
Which
did
will be
see
right
this.
up your alley because I know how jealous you two are of Apple Arcade.
Mm-hmm.
Part of me thinks this might suck though.
Why is that? What games are on it?
We'll get into all that stuff in a moment. So the Google Play Pass is Google's response to Apple Arcade.
Sure.
For Android devices, or I guess all Android devices can do Google Play. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway,
that's just the App Store, right?
Like as long as they're a smart device.
Yeah.
It
will also be $5 a month. However, you can get for a limited time, you can get the Play Pass for $2 a month for your first 12 months.
Okay.
So if you're actually interested in it, you might as well jump in on this trial version because it's $24.
Yeah.
This is all American prices, by the way. Play Pass is a new subscription service that will give you access to more than 350 apps, which is a lot. Apple Arcade only launched with like 70 something, and that was still quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
What's a little different is this is not just games. It's games and apps.
Okay.
Without ads or in-app purchases, which makes me think there's going to be a lot of like bloatware in there of like, here's a spreadsheet app that typically is $2, but it comes in your subscription service. You know what I mean?
Probably. I mean, to get up to 350, that makes sense.
That's why I'm a little hesitant about it. Is it's like, I bet there's going to be a lot of bullshit in here.
Yeah, but you don't have to download that. If I want a good spreadsheet app, this will give me one for whatever reason.
Maybe you'll actually get something good out of it. There has been some games revealed already.
Okay.
Ones that I would be excited about. Thimbleweed Park's in here.
Okay.
80 Days, Reigns Game of Thrones, Limbo. It's a lot of old stuff that's real good.
Sure.
I haven't heard much about new exclusive kind of stuff, if that's even going to be the case. Looks like Stardew Valley's going to be in here.
Okay.
Terraria, Star Wars KOTOR. Can you sync a console controller to Android phones?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on the game, but yes.
Okay, so I guess that they are at parity with that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of wait to see how this competes with Apple Arcade. I'm interested, obviously, in what games they can get the new stuff from developers, because that was the draw with Apple Arcade. Is none of it was old; it was all brand new stuff, which made it extremely exciting.
The thing is, it's not really competing from our level, though, right? Because consumers consumers have both devices usually.
True, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's just the easy comparison to make.
Right.
Similar to like, would you compare the Xbox library or the PlayStation library? I mean, you probably only have one, but
mm-hmm.
I don't know. You are right.
It's more what games they get on it for sure. Yeah.
And I doubt anyone's looking at the subscription as like, well, I'm going to buy a phone coming up, but I don't know which one. This is not going to be a decision maker.
Well,
but
maybe
it is just the other one, right? It's the easiest comparison. So
sure.
I'm curious to see what it brings, because it had high expectations because like I said, the easiest comparison has knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
One kind of interesting story that came out of this is there was a Twitter thread, and then I linked in here an article from Patrick Klepek over at Vice Games. Developer Will O'Neill, who what is the developer name?
Oh, I
I
just
think
saw
I
it.
think
Yeah.
I think he just makes his own games specifically.
Okay.
He basically came out with a thread talking about this pass.
Okay.
And he specifically pointed out in like their FAQ for the Google Play Pass, one of them is, I'll just read the full thing. How do I make money? And the answer is developers earn a royalty that incorporates time subscribers spend in their app and captures how users value all types of content, from weather apps to epic endless runners. We're continuously refining the model to make sure it fairly rewards titles that bring the highest user value. This has raised some flags, specifically because a lot of people disagree that you should not be paying these developers based on how much time the game, like we're getting to the equation of like time versus money for the price of a game again.
Uh-huh.
And this would incentivize developers to put in a lot of like padding in their games to
Right.
slow things down so that you're in their game longer so that they get more money, which could easily
Right.
lead the game to becoming boring or dull or just worse than it could have been, right?
Sure. Yep.
Like um so we don't have specific numbers. We also don't have any numbers about how Apple Arcade is paying their developers, although there has been some word that it seems like they were getting paid upfront a price,
Sure.
which is very similar to like how Epic pays upfront for those exclusivity rights.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but this is just weird to see, and it's definitely something to follow because,
Yeah.
again, this could definitely change how a developer creates their game if they're
Mm-hmm.
just going to put in like if you think of a random game, put in a bunch of like boring side quests that you have to get through to get to the next story one, because if they can get you to play for 1 hour and they can get that up to 2 hours, maybe they get twice as much money. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's not great.
Agreed. Yep.
And honestly, that makes me not want to support this subscription service. So fingers crossed Apple's not doing something similarly, because I'm at the moment a fan of how they're doing it. Hopefully it's not
Well, they're only
nefarious.
going. I'd say they're at this point they're only going to change if Google's ends up being successful.
Yeah.
So really, at this point, just hope that Google's is not successful.
Well, again, we don't know what Apple's doing. That's the key thing to take away. For all we know,
Mm.
Apple's doing the exact same thing. No one's come out and talked about it because they probably can't, right? They're probably contractually obligated to
Yeah.
keep that things limited. I mean, we don't even know how Game Pass does it. No one comes out and
True.
talks about that. And
Yep.
Microsoft doesn't talk about it. And it's probably because they give better cuts to different developers, right? And if they
Yeah.
came out and said what they're giving to one set of developer, other developers like, wait, hey, how come I'm not getting that kind of treatment? And it's probably on a case by case basis. That's got to be why Microsoft doesn't talk about it publicly.
Sure.
So there's a lot we don't know, which makes it hard to be a conscious consumer.
If out of the companies, Apple, Epic, and Google, you told me Google would be the one to not pay properly, that's fucking ridiculous. They easily make the other two companies worth, like, together. The fact that they're not doing this properly is disgusting.
Sure. I mean, to be fair, all those companies are big enough that they can throw money around.
That's what I
So
mean, is that Google makes Epic and Apple money together by themselves. They're, like, the biggest
they're
fucking
definitely the
company.
biggest one. Yeah.
So, like, the fact that they're not doing this properly is fucking abhorrent. And that's coming from an Android user. It benefits me for this to, like, work, to be good. But, yeah, no, knowing that's disgusting.
And also, like, you want to, like, if you're going to subscribe to this, you probably want to feel good about where that money is going. And also, if you start getting just a lot of, like, bloatware games, you're just not going to subscribe anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. That's
like,
true.
and I'm the same on the Apple side. Like, if they stop putting out games of like of a certain caliber that I no longer feel is $5, yeah, I'm gonna bounce.
Mm.
Like I'm happy to pay until you're not meeting like what I deem is $5 or whatever. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
definitely something to watch and something to kind of think about.
Yep. Agreed.
We got a bit more news on the PlayStation 5 this week. Tiny bit. Sony came out and said that they are going to make the PlayStation 5 extremely energy efficient when it is in a low power mode. So
Okay.
right now, the Xbox One and the PlayStation 5 can go basically into like a sleep mode as opposed to fully off, where it's using very little bits of power, which is good because it can like download updates for you and install stuff while the console's using less power, basically. And I understand it does things faster when it's in low power mode too. It can prioritize and whatnot. PlayStation 5 is going to be even better. They estimate they can get it down to about 0.5 of a watt of power
That
being used.
is crazy good, actually.
That's impressive. Yeah.
They also came out with a statement saying, or let me just read the whole quote. This is from Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan. Announced that the, quote, next generation PlayStation console will include the possibility to suspend gameplay with much lower power consumption than PS4, which we estimate can be achieved at around 0.5 watts. If just 1 million users enabled this feature, it would save equivalent to the average electricity of 1,000 US homes.
Wow.
Which that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's great. As you know, that's great for everyone. It's great for the planet. Makes me feel good about this purchase. My utilities bill gets a bit smaller. Thank you. Always glad to see that.
When was this information released? I'm just curious.
This was
a day or two ago. Pretty recent.
Yep, a few days ago. I couldn't find an article to link as well, but Microsoft also came out and said that they are partnering with the UN right now to release. Maybe it actually isn't here. Sorry, this article does mention it. So I'll just read this paragraph. But Sony's not the only game company that has signed on to the Playing for the Planet Alliance, a partnership through which corporations have made commitments to reduce carbon emissions, reduce waste, and otherwise reduce their impact on the planet. Microsoft has also committed to making 825,000 Xbox consoles carbon neutral while cutting emissions as part of its manufacturing and delivery processes. That's for current Xboxes. They have not come out to say which kind of version of Xboxes those will be and kind of how they'll appear, if it changes the price in any way. But I guess, hey, good thumbs up to Microsoft as well.
Sure.
I'm glad to see these companies are being good.
I don't want to like get into the obvious route that this is going to get into, so it doesn't even have to do with video games. But do you think this has to do with Greta Thunberg or whatever, and her speech about climate change and how people
I think
need
they before she did that.
This is before
happened.
that?
There's no way they can make that decision like instantaneous. They had
no. But I mean, like, do you think that they decided this is a good time to like release that information that we're doing this?
Well, isn't it? No, it's like World Climate Week, or like it's like climate. Not the Paris Accord. Wherever the fuck the Paris Accord was made. Like, there's an actual climate change world leader meeting going on right now.
So it was just part of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would, again, like John said, that you don't make this decision pretty quickly. So I would assume it's just the general conversation about how this planet's doomed also helped bring this forward over the last few months.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. And then, Paul, why don't you tell us some free PC games?
Yeah. So on Epic, you can download everything in Metro 2033 Redux for free. And on Xbox Game Pass, they have Enter the Gungeon, Bad North Jotun Edition, Dirt Rally 2.0, and Killer Instinct Definitive Edition available now.
I think it's Jotun. I think the J's are pronounced as a Y.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do some questions. Let's try and get through these quick, too. We have a bunch, though. If you want to send a question in, topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. I'll read this first one from Kevin. These first two from Kevin. What rhythm games have the most unique gameplay? And this follow-up is, what rhythm games have the best music?
Oh. Rock Band games have the best music.
Just by default?
I think so.
Just by quantity?
Yeah, and you being able to choose which ones you want to download and stuff.
I'm a huge fan of DJ Hero. I think this answer works for both of them.
Okay.
Because not the DJ Hero, it wasn't just specific like single songs. They remixed all those songs to be like mashup songs
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool. And also, you got to be a fake DJ with that controller, and I'm a big DJ Hero fan.
Okay, fair enough. Most unique gameplay.
Like Elite Beat Agents slash.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That was pretty
Double and
good.
Dawn.
Yeah, that is good.
I mean, I'm a big Res fan. Res, the VR one with its like Area X is really cool.
Okay. I like I mean, I like Parappa, obviously, but holy crap, that game is almost unplayable these days. I haven't played Thumper yet, but I really like games that like you're driving in lanes, like Audio Surf and stuff, to the beat. And I heard
Thumper is
Thumpers
weird,
like
man.
that.
You should play some Thumper.
Yeah, so that's probably my answer. Okay, next question comes from Mage. Do you think it's better for a game to be mediocre and forgettable, or for it to be known and for it to be a known and talked about bad game? It's better to be known and talked about.
That's gotta be the latter, right?
It's 100%
Yeah.
better.
This makes me, I mean, for obvious reasons, this also makes me think of the old kind of thing with like reviewing games. Is like the hardest ones to review are the ones that are just kind of in the middle there.
Yep.
Because they're like you can't really talk any kind of extremes with them, because they're just kind of mediocre. They're just fine. Like it's hard to put into words why they're neither one or the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
All right. Next up from Yogurt Sapien, what's your favorite game slash movie slash show to make you feel better or take your mind off of something? Usually I'll even just play like a mindless mobile game, or I'll play something that doesn't require that much thought, like Turtles in Time.
Yeah. My answer is P-Cross, whatever I'm into currently. Usually paired up with a YouTube video from somebody I know isn't off the wall.
Yeah, I don't typically go back to stuff where it's like I'm gonna put in Old Faithful. So yeah, I don't have a great answer for this, because if I'm gonna watch a TV show, it's gonna be something I'm that's like on my list, or like, well, I'm on this episode, so I'm gonna watch this thing.
Oh, really? I rewatch TV shows all the time.
Yeah, I don't really do that. No, I have like
Like,
such a backlog of shows to watch.
we're doing Fresh Prince again currently.
Okay, yeah, great show.
Yeah.
Just an absolute great show.
Yep.
Heartfelt show too. Man, that show had some serious business.
It has its moments. Yeah.
That episode with his dad. Oh,
It's the one. It's the one.
but also another one is like the where they go skiing in the lodge and they get robbed.
When he gets shot.
He doesn't get shot. They get like tied up.
Oh, okay. He does get shot though. In another
I don't remember that
episode.
one.
They get
Okay.
mugged at an ATM.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not this one. Rasterman writes in and says, "Hey, yesterday was spring over here and in some other countries as well, which meant the beginning of some pretty chill weather. Sunnier and cloudless skies, a swift and warm breeze coming through the windows after what seemed like a long time. The sound of basically nothing coming from outside. You get the drill. Anyway, in a day like that, what kind of leisure activities are you more prone to do, and which ones would you like to do if you could? What's your go-to spring? It's got good weather. Leisure activity.
Cycling.
Cycling's nice. Yeah, I wish I could.
I love biking. I was just saying, I don't know if this was on the air or not. I went to the lake last weekend because it was super hot out. Just went swimming in a lake. Something super nice to just jumping off a big rock into a lake.
Mm-hmm. I really like doing like a barbecue at the park with a bunch of people. sort of thing.
Sure.
Ooh, barbecue.
That's usually
Yeah,
good.
I definitely do not do enough barbecues because it takes so much prep.
Yeah,
Like you need to plan out a barbecue. I'm never just
You do.
like, yeah, I got all the fixings for barbecue in my fridge. But like
Yep.
barbecues are kind of like extremely awesome.
They're
and
great.
they always smell so goddamn good.
Yep. I'm 3D Homer writes, so apropos of nothing, I thought of a fake game called Hunt Duck, a duck survival game where you play as a duck and have to fly away from a hunter who tries to shoot you. If you win, his dog laughs at him. What's a dynamic from a video game where you would like a game that flips the gameplay loop around, where you play as a character who is normally subject to the will and power of the player character?
So Homer knows that's just the 2-player mode in Duck Hunt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's literally already in the game.
Mm.
I don't think enough games let you play as the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
like,
what about like Hotline Miami? Aren't you like a serial killer?
No, 'cause you're playing the character
a
who's
super
the-
villain bad guy.
Yeah. His whole question is where you play a character. Think of a game and then think of like playing the character, not the non-player character.
Yeah, I want
Because
to be the mad scientist that's like kidnapped the princess and
Right.
setting
Okay.
up all the traps. I want
This-
evil. I want more evil genius type games.
this is
basically.
the whole idea between the genre of games where you play the shopkeeper for adventurers in a town.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yes. Yes. And
Racketeer and stuff like that.
Moonlighter is so
Mhm.
good. Oh my gosh, Moonlighter's good. Couple games came to mind. First off, Deadliest Creatures.
Yeah.
God.
know what? Yeah.
You play as the scorpion or the
Mhm.
spider or whatever while there's like a murder mystery happening above.
Yep.
I need to play that game, man. But there's no way I'm plugging in a Wii right now. It's 2019.
Yep.
Plug in your Wii U, then it's more justifiable at that point.
Nah, have you felt that controller recently, man?
Yeah, it's literally right behind me.
Yeah, no, thank you. I don't need that in my hands ever. Mine is for some reason kind of sticky too. I don't know how that
Oh
happened.
God.
Okay, that I can't help you with. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, I wish someone could help me with that. And I haven't played it. There's a few games coming out. I was trying to get it on the Patreon for a bit, but Night Call, where you're the taxi driver.
Mm-hmm.
And another one, I think a Neo Cab, I think is a similar idea, and that's on Apple Arcade. I'll be playing that soon. Can't
Nice.
wait. So there's another one kind of like that for sure. Yeah, I guess like you mentioned the shopkeepers. That makes me think of what's the one where you're the border patrol guy?
Oh, Papers, Please.
Papers, Please,
Mhm.
and Cart Life would be there too, right?
But okay, to switch it around, what if in Papers, Please, you play just one of the dudes in the line?
Well, that's the thing is you would
Yeah.
typically be someone trying to like sneak across the border, right?
Yeah.
But this one, you're just like a guy, like, all right, I'm gonna stamp your paper. Like, I think that's the exact game of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can I say what the golf? Because you don't
Sure.
often play as the ball.
Sure.
That's one
That
way to look
works.
at it, I guess. Yeah.
All right, am I next?
I think
Should
so.
be.
Okay. Jacket writes, has there ever been a game that you bought, haven't played, but don't regret buying it? If not, what's your favorite game that you never got around to finishing?
No.
Oh, I got plenty. John's pointing at his whole room and his life and his sad wallet. I am going to say, yeah, I have a bunch. Tales of Symphonia 2. I'm glad I own that game because I'm sure that game's hard to find at this point. And mostly it's like a game that's like has been forgotten, but it
Mhm.
means something to me. And it's like I'm sure this would be hard to find if I needed to get to it.
Okay.
Like the Wii Fire Emblem game. I
Mhm.
own that because I felt like I should. I like Fire Emblem so much, never played it.
Mhm.
Tokyo Mirage Sessions. I picked that up because that's right up my alley. Never put it in. But it's another game I needed to have a copy of.
Okay.
All right, next up comes to us from Lucas, who says, is the current generation PS4, Xbox One, Wii U / Switch Going to be remembered as the remastered/remake generation. I was late to buy a PS4, Xbox One because of this. There were a lot of these early on, or in the case of the PS4, the same game was released on the PS3. Will we see as many remakes and remasters next generation, or did this generation beat them to death and we go back to the normal output? 360 PS3 era was pretty egregious for it at the beginning, because that was the where, yeah, because that was where they were doing like they were releasing it on both platforms at the same time, or like they
but
would
not
like,
remasters, right?
or like they would do like the improved edition or like the semi remastered, like Gun comes to mind, like Gun Reloaded,
Well,
I think
no,
is what they
Gun
called it.
was a split release, right?
That's what I'm trying to remember, because they had a different subtitle on that one.
Oh,
And then
I
and then
don't
there was
remember
other
that.
stuff like Burnout Revenge came out on both platforms. Or like I said, Revenge came out a couple months later on like the 360 and stuff like that.
I guess
But
part of this question
this gen has been worse for it, to answer the actual question.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel like part of this question involves like, so let's say they are going to do remasters next generation.
They will.
They've already done the remasters for the games you would pick first, right? So their only option is remaster them again or remaster something else that people are less interested in, right?
Sure.
Or like, can you really see them remastering it again?
You clearly don't realize how much companies want money.
No, I just
it
don't think
depends
it happens
on the product. Yeah, it depends on what it is, I guess.
Like, are they going to make Burnout Paradise remastered?
No, that one I don't think they will.
Are they going to make Deadpool remastered?
No, I don't think so.
Well, which one do you think they're going to remaster again?
I could see them doing Shadow of the Colossus again. A remaster of that remaster for the new system.
Okay, I could see that too.
Like games that like have a huge cult following behind them. I could see GTA 5.
I see them doing collections. I see them doing collections more than remasters.
I agree with that too.
Or collections of remasters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. I mean, well, or like, is it going to be such a minor difference? Are these just ports at this point?
Yeah, that's fair. At what point is it like just they're re-releasing it for this
with
system?
Just like now it has 4K?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
because I think that's what might happen. Like, I think the reason we got so many remasters this time is there was such a huge gap from a lot of the games they're bringing up, like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, right? There was such a big jump from them.
That's true. Yep.
But I do think they're gonna like port a lot of stuff because it just makes sense. There's gonna be a ton of people who never had a PS4 because maybe they were an Xbox player, but they wanted the PS5, and it's like, well, yeah, I want to play Last of Us 2, right?
I chalked it more up to technology. Technologically, this generation hasn't felt as big of a leap, so they figured everything would be pretty even tech-wise for a while. So it seemed more apt to bring back stuff.
Yeah, I could see that.
Sure. Yeah. Yep. I think the next leap is going to be less so, but I don't know. Like
yeah, no, I don't think you're wrong.
Because I say that as someone who has the half-step consoles. Like, I already have 2 consoles that can do 4K. So hearing the next consoles are going to be able to do 4K, it's like, oh, great, glad to hear that. I can already see. I already have 4K, but I mean, load times will be faster. There'll be other reasons to get it, obviously.
Yeah,
but just visually, I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of just the way it is with technology in general, right? We're at the point where it's the increments are going to be smaller until a giant breakthrough happens. Okay. Zombie Twinkie says, what game have you done the most research into in terms of its world, character, and lore? Not through gameplay, through reading wiki, watching videos, etc.
So outside of the game.
Superman
I definitely
64.
know. Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense, yep.
Yeah, because you were the videos people were watching to learn about that game, so that makes sense that you would have to read a lot about it. Doki Doki Literature Club, 100%.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Just getting like opinions and stuff on it and whatnot?
Well, not only that, reactions for some of the stuff that happens in it, but there's this whole weird AR meta thing that happened with the community just like working together with this giant document of like what things could possibly mean, and I just went so far down that rabbit hole.
Okay. It was probably like Super Smash Bros. Brawl, because I was on Smash Dojo every morning because they were putting out new news every single day.
Mm-hmm.
So I was on a daily basis looking up news about this game coming out. So it was probably that.
Sure.
And I'll read this last one from Jay Wolf, who wrote in and said, Sean, do you think you're going to play the Leighton Mystery Journey Switch port coming out in November? And what are your thoughts on the game? No, I am not. I played through that game on my phone, and I don't really like it much. I felt like the last few Leighton games were kind of going down in quality from where they started. And this one I just did not enjoy very much at all. Don't care about the story. There's random red herrings for no reason that relate to nothing. I don't think it's a very good Leighton game. That'll do it for questions. If you want to send in questions next week, it is topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, and John's P.O. Box. What are your games of the week?
Creature in the Well.
Mario Kart Tour. I'm kidding. Gunvolt Chronicles.
That'd
Luminous
be
Avenger
hilarious.
X.
I'm going to give it to Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Cool.
All right. Stay tuned after this if you are a Patreon subscriber at the proper tier, because will be live with our TDP Plus episode of my friend Pedro.
Yeah.
Other than that, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.